of the month. Bucks at Giants, everything you need to know right up to kickoff. Willie McGinest and Steve Mariucci are in studio with me tonight. David Carr and Scott Pioli are here too. On the big screens, of course. We have big injury news, though, to start just before the trade deadline. Let's bring in our NFL Network insider, Ian Rappaport. Ian, let's get right into it. Major injuries for the 49ers.
Yeah, we'll start with starting quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. Sources say that high ankle injury, he really has been battling, MJ, since the start of the season, is going to knock him out another month at least. Garoppolo expected to be placed on injured reserve as the team tries to figure out why he continues to have pain and that ankle continues to not only bother him, but negatively affect his performance. So it is going to be Nick Mullins going forward, at least until they can figure out Jimmy Garoppolo's ankle. But of course, that is not all. All-pro tight end George Kittle, one of the best players in the NFL, regardless of position, is also going on injured reserve with what I'm told is a broken bone in his foot. X-rays were initially negative, then he did further tests and discovered the broken bone. His season may, in fact, be over. Obviously, bad news for the 49ers, who did make a trade today. They sent Quan Alexander, a very talented but off-injured linebacker, to the Saints to help bolster New Orleans' defense a little bit.
The Niners' injuries just piling up there. Meantime, their upcoming Thursday night opponents, the Packers, dealing with a positive COVID test, Ian.
A positive COVID test for A.J. Dillon, one of their young running backs and someone who has come on a little bit over the last couple games. Sources say that he tested positive for COVID-19. He is now out for Thursday's game, and that actually may not be all. Just a couple minutes ago, I was told that Jamal Williams, another running back, and Kamal Martin, a linebacker with the Packers, were deemed close contacts with Dillon. If they were deemed high-risk close contacts, which is something the NFL is looking into right now, they will not be able to play Thursday's game. Meanwhile, the status of Aaron Jones still TBD with that calf injury. And that was not all. Marlon Humphrey, the all-pro corner for the Baltimore Ravens, he also tested positive for COVID-19. According to Coach John Harbaugh, he has symptoms, so Humphrey is out the next game. He is now out a minimum of 10 days, and the team will continue to have their meetings virtual going forward.
Oh, Ian, a lot to cover there and a lot to unpack. We're going to check in with you a little later in the show. And while we're on the topic of Steelers and Ravens there, like you mentioned, let's take a look back at that matchup and our game of the week. This was the first meeting between Big Ben Roethlisberger and Lamar Jackson. Fourth quarter, Steelers trailing 24-21. First and goal, Big Ben to Chase Claypool in the back of the end zone for the 8-yard scores. Steelers take the lead there 28-24. Ensuing Ravens possession, it's 4th and 3. Lamar Jackson takes it up the middle, but gets stopped by Minkah Fitzpatrick. He fumbles. Robert Spillane there to recover. Next Ravens drive. 5 seconds left in the game. Lamar launches one, looking for Willie Snead, but it's broken up by Fitzpatrick. Steelers win 28-24, remain undefeated. Lamar with 4 turnovers on the day. Listen to the aftermath here.
Mike, you don't expect Lamar Jackson to make those kind of interceptions. How big was that to change the momentum?
You know, we have respect for him, but we don't fear him. And so, we're not surprised by anything that transpires.
The turnovers, I feel, is the reason we lost the game. I put that on me. The start of the game, the first drive, a pick 6. Then we drive to the red zone, a fumble. Got to get the ball out quick because we know they're dominant up front. And then a pick off the player from the flat, throwing at the mark. Got to clean those up, and I feel we won that game. So that's all to it.
On the winning side, though, Juju Smith-Schuster pleased after the dub, tweeting, "What a battle, proud of how this team fought today. It wasn't pretty, but we found a way to get it done." His fellow receiver, Chase Claypool, losing? Never heard of her. I don't know her. Moose and Willie on the big stage with me now. As we thought this was a battle down to the end, you guys. I really felt like the Ravens could have won this game, but Willie, that Steelers defense, though.
They did, and they took over. And for whatever reason, the Pittsburgh Steelers have the Ravens' numbers. And you got to do it on 3 different levels. You got to eliminate the explosive plays in the passing game. I'll show that. You also got to stop the running game with Lamar, and you got to turn the football over. So when you watch the tape and look what they did, here's Marquise Brown, here's Hollywood. Well, he ain't in Hollywood right now because he's getting locked down by Joe Hayden on the outside. Joe Hayden is going to play inside technique, knowing he has safety help over the top. Lamar wants to go to him right now. He's not open. So what does he do as a natural athlete? He pulls the ball down, steps in the pocket, tries to take off. They do a good job of corralling and stopping the play. The other thing that they're going to do right here, Spillane, he's been playing big the last couple of weeks. It's a zone drop. He's going to drop to the hook. In zone drops, you don't read the man, you read the quarterback. Look at this perfect drop. He stops, plants his feet. He's reading Lamar now. He's trying to look him off, but he's not buying it. He's reading Lamar Jackson. Great break on the football. Woo! Big 6 to the house. Whenever you get a turnover, if you can get to the house and score points, that helps your team win. And last but not least, the ultimate weapon. When the game's on the line, it's 4th and 3 right here. It's in the red zone, empty formation. Everybody in the world knows Lamar's keeping his ball, but guess what? They got a triangle. They're all looking at Lamar. They're all going to shadow him. They're not going to throw the football. Lamar wants the ball in his hands. This is the design run, a draw play. He takes off. They bottle him up nicely. Nowhere to go. So it's so tough and it's so difficult to stop this offense because they give you so many looks and they do so many things. But for whatever reason, I'm going to say it again, the Pittsburgh Steelers have gotten this defense down and they know how to attack the Ravens.
Preparation, Mooch.
I'm with you. The Ravens coulda, shoulda, woulda won that game.
They coulda.
Right? I mean, Willie, this is the first time that the Ravens have lost if they're leading at halftime. They were 22-0, right?
Yep.
And they were up 17-7, and they lost it. But the turnovers. I mean, because the rest of the game, they had twice as many total yards, more first downs, more clock time, the whole thing.
So you're saying numbers lie?
Yeah, well, the 4 turnovers don't lie because, you know what? Look at Spillane. He's going to be like an all-pro guy coming in, replacing Devin Bush. But you know what? Lamar Jackson just has a tough time against this defense. Those are 2 great defenses. But you know what? Lamar Jackson has thrown 5 interceptions in 2 games against the Steelers, and he's thrown 5 interceptions in the other 20 games that he has played. Wow. So you're right, Willie. The Steelers have their number.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where we knew what was coming. It was going to be tough. But, man, don't you love to see a battle like that?
It was a battle, man. It was a great game.
Because I sure do. But on the losing side, the Ravens losing more than just a game. Left tackle Ronnie Stanley out for the season with a severe ankle injury there, guys. We'll have more on the injuries throughout the show and more with Ian Rappaport later as well. Mooch and Willie, thank you.
Tua on the field, the left-handed quarterback.
Got it! Boy, Tua got rid of that ball quickly. Put it right where it needed to be.
Joe Burrow show.
Caught at the 10. Boyd tackled at the 5.
Surgical. Unbelievable. Incredible. It's a fumble. The ball's on the ground. It's Van Ginkel. Nobody's going to catch him. The Dolphins take the lead.
Joe Burrow rolling right. Quick throw. Nice. Caught by Gio. Dives for the pylon. Touchdown.
We don't feel like a 1-5 football team.
He's gone. Jakeem Grant. Are you kidding me? That thing was set up.
Just enjoying the moment, and I'm keeping the ball.
David Carr joining me now, and Tua Tagovailoa and I have something else in common, that big old smile after that win. Puma, bring up, David, I have something for you. I'm doing it, Mooch. Because I was here for my fans. Nobody believed me, and they came through with the dub. All eyes were on Tua yesterday, David Carr. But you had another matchup in mind when watching this game. What was it?
I did, and I was super excited to watch this game because of Tua, but it ended up being a rematch of the Super Bowl a couple years ago with Sean McVay and Brian Flores going at it. And you remember what happened in that game? Brian Flores had Sean McVay's number, and the same thing happened yesterday. They came out and they gave different looks, different blitz packages. They attacked Sean McVay. They attacked Jared Goff. They had their number. And so it was kind of like for Tua, as a starting pitcher, you go out there at the top of the first, your team gives you 7 runs of support. All you got to do is get to the 5th or 6th inning to get the win. So that's kind of the situation Tua was put in. This defense played fantastic. That pick right there, that nose guard dropped out and made a play. Then you get a punt return for a touchdown, and special teams was big. So Brian Flores is doing a tremendous job, and Tua is going to eventually, he's going to grow into this position, because what I saw was a guy that isn't afraid to make throws. That was a nice little RPO. You're going to see a lot of that with Chan Gailey. You're going to stick it in the gut of the running back. You're going to pull it out, throw some slants in there like he did at Alabama, and chopped it up. He's going to get better and better as this goes on. Very accurate, extremely accurate quarterback. He made some throws late in the game towards the sideline that I thought were big-time throws that you don't ask a young quarterback to make, like that one, unless you have a lot of confidence in him. So this defense is really the story in Miami. They're sitting there at 4-3. This team can really make something happen out in the AFC. So I'm excited to watch them. I'm excited for their young quarterback. it's going to be fun to watch the Dolphins, MJ.
To your point there, David, the messaging from Brian Flores all week to Tua was, it's not all on you. It's not all on your shoulders. And they came through on offense, defense, and special teams there to pull off that upset. Speaking of upsets and QB quarterbacks here, Joe Burrow, he had a day against the Titans.
Amazing. And he's been great all year. And what I really like about Joe, and he continues to show, is poise. His pocket presence is off the charts. He's able to move and buy time, and he makes the intermediate throw with incredible accuracy. He understands spatial awareness. He made a lot of plays just with his legs yesterday. I'd love to see, but it's what he's doing with decision-making. He's back there. He's set. He moves out of the pocket. I mean, look at this, buying time, making a play down the field, semi-throwaway, throw to the only guy who can catch it. A lot of guys will say that's a throwaway. I actually think he threw that on purpose because of how accurate he is. Look at this, buys time, feels where he's in the pocket, makes a big throw down the field to convert on 4th down. I mean, he was really good. When you watch him on film, you don't see a rookie. You see a veteran guy. If you didn't know that Joe Burrow wasn't a rookie, you would say, this guy's been playing for 10 years because of the understanding that he has of what his offense is asking of him, where to go with the football. But he really got out of his hand quick and avoided a lot of negative plays early in that game, which gave them a chance. They kept the pressure on all day. They just kept scoring and scoring, kept going after Tennessee. So it was really tough for them. I mean, that's a good Tennessee Titans football team, but this is a really good young quarterback that the Bengals have.
Yeah, if there was any doubt in what Joe Burrow could do, I don't know who was doubting him at this point, despite their record. Boom, he just came through. David, thanks so much. We'll, of course, have a lot more with you now. All right, we're going to check in on MetLife Stadium. Janelle Jones getting ready for this Monday night matchup. We'll have a lot more from the game.